Welcome to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison.
I'm Molly, a former skeptic, now full-time energy healer, author, and your resident science meets spirit nerd.
And I'm Madison, a born and raised witch, teacher of the craft, and owner of not one, not two, but 3 metaphysical businesses.
Together we dig into low-effort witchcraft, spirituality, and the science that backs it all up, all with humor, heart, and a sprinkle of chaos.
So whether you're a curious skeptic or a seasoned witch, find a cozy spot, take a deep breath, and let's demystify some magic.
Howdy doody, friends.
Howdy doody. It's been a minute.
Oh my God. This is our first main feed episode we've recorded since Chicago, almost 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're like whole different people since the last time you saw us.
Are we?
Or we're the same. I guess we'll find out today.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out if we've lost our rhythm or if it's still within us.
Yeah, we're a little rusty if you can't tell.
Though we did just record our Akamam, A Court of Molly and Madison, our bonus podcast. If you didn't know, we have a Patreon where we record a bonus podcast every month, among other fun things. So you can check that out if you want to support the show.
Yeah, it's a good time.
For sure.
If you like us rusty and saying whatever comes out and not having Lily, our wonderful, fantastic editor, even touch that footage, I've got good news for you. I have got good news.
Mm-hmm. So today we're easing ourselves back in with a Q&A. We got the A's. You gave us the Q's over on the IG. And we're going to answer as many as we can.
Yeah, I'm excited. Taking it a little easy as we go in.
Yeah. Yeah. But first, Madison, what was your magic moment of the week?
Can we say what's your magic moment of the last 3 months? Can I just say that when we pre-recorded all those episodes on the Sabbats and took our little hiatus from recording, I was like, I'm going to write down all my magic moments. I'm going to have a plethora to choose from when we come back. I was like, maybe we'll make a whole episode of just our magic moments.
No.
I think I wrote down 3. And that journal is in my purse on the other side of the house. And I forgot about that dream until we said, oh, we need to have a magic moment for this episode. So I'm going to go easily and say my magic moment was my birthday last week. Everybody was so sweet. It's been more than a week by the time you're hearing this.
You can still wish her happy birthday.
Yeah. You know what? Every day is your birthday if you try hard enough. Every day is your birthday if you're at a restaurant that offers free dessert, you know? I'm just kidding. I don't do that unless. No, I got so many sweet, kind messages from you guys, first of all. And we did, so my birthday's around Thanksgiving. It's always like that week, plus or minus like 3 or 4 days. Every, I think like 7 years it's on Thanksgiving. And I decided to lean into it this year. And I hosted what was called Birthsgiving, which was my birthday party. It was Friendsgiving birthday, and it was so lovely. We just had like my closest people that are here over and did like a little dinner and had cake and hung out, and it was just like really fun and lovely. And Anthony gifted me, it's so funny, I told him that I really want to improve my handwriting this year and he gifted me a cursive workbook for teens. And I have been practicing every day, just so you know. I've been practicing every single day with my workbook for teens. And it was just really lovely and nice. I'm like not a huge birthday person. I haven't had a birthday party, I don't think, since I turned 18. So perfect 10 years later as I turned 28. You know, I just do it every 10 years. But it was just really nice and lovely. And I had a wonderful time. And it was nice to have something that was like in line with my wants and needs, you know?
Yeah. I love that.
What about you?
I thought you were going to say your magic moment was seeing your good friend Molly, but...
Well, we just spent the last hour talking about it, so I figured I would do something original.
Fine. Oh, that's fine. Oh. My magic moment is my fireplace and my houseworks.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Really good. So if you've been following the pod, I moved into this house a year ago in November 1st. And we have a gas fireplace, propane fireplace. And it has not worked since we moved in. And last year, it was too late in the season to get anyone out to service it.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, because you might not know this, but in places where it gets cold, everyone waits until the last minute to get their fireplace serviced.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
places that service fireplaces in my area, they book out. Like if you don't basically get them on the books by Labor Day, they're booked until April.
Okay, cool. I understand. So it's like people who do hurricane windows and stuff here.
Yeah. Or
Got
like
it.
air conditioners.
Yeah.
And so they were already booked out. And so I was like, okay, no, it's fine. We're not going to do it in the spring because we had to replace the boiler and the well pump and the carbon filter and the every appliance. And we've been through this saga. So I was like, we'll just wait until next fall.
The last minute.
No, I didn't. I did not wait until last minute. I called them. I had them on the books early October. I was prepared. I called around Labor Day and I was like, yes, please, early October. So they came out. They determined it needs a starter. Great. We put a starter in. Fantastic. And then it turns out it needs a transformer. Okay, cool. And then we decide to add a fan to it because it really wasn't like circulating the heat very well in the room. So we were like, it's nice, it's cool, but whatever. So anyways, 3 service calls and $500 later, I now have a working propane fireplace. And
Love.
The other day we put our Christmas tree up. We put our stockings on the mantle. We watched Stranger Things and we enjoyed that fireplace. And I will tell you, it was worth every minute I waited and every penny I spent. And I'm quite happy. It's very cozy in my home now.
Good. I love it.
Can't wait till the first snow where I just sit and I read a smutty holiday novella in front of the fire all day. Ugh. Can't wait.
I would love to live in a place that had like a fireplace was something that's like a plus for a house, That sounds so nice. It's so pleasant. I have really been craving winter recently.
Yeah, come on up.
On my way.
Okay, let's dive into these cues. The first one asks, how to get started working with deities.
We get asked this question a lot, and I haven't had like a super distinct answer, which is why I've kind of put off talking about it a little bit. I feel like we always get this question in Q&As, but I feel like I've landed on some like pretty solid advice, or what I believe to be solid advice, which is not as sexy as you might want, and for that I apologize, but it is to learn about those deities. Like not just in the witchcraft way, but like, so for example, if you, I don't know, why do I forget all deities the moment that we're talking about deities?
Yeah.
If you want to start working with Hecate, certainly read books on Hecate that are for modern witches worshiping Hecate, for certainly. But also what I found to be really helpful is reading myths about that god, reading how they were worshipped in ancient practices, like what is their history, what did it look like, just all of those things from a more historical background as well as a magical background, like a kind of a well-rounded. And what I do is I take turns, because I find the more like I struggle to read more dense texts, and so I'll break it up of like, okay, one fun witchy book and then one more historical book, and then another witchy book, and then maybe there's a fiction book that mentions that person. I just read the Hecate book by Nikita Gill, which is a fiction book about Hecate becoming a goddess, and it's so good, and it is like based mostly in myth. There's like some, obviously like it's a fictional retelling, but it like, from what I know, it stays relatively true to Hecate as like as a deity. But I think that a lot of times and I am very guilty of this, which is again why I hesitated so long to talk about deity work, because I know that I like was not, I'm not an expert in it. I wouldn't say I'm an expert in much of anything, but I was going about it from this very like, how do I know if someone wants to work with me energy? Because that's the fun part. Whereas what I find to be more like long lasting and more foundational for a practice that includes a deity is knowing and understanding their lore, so that then you can better understand what a relationship with that god or goddess might look like.
Yeah. Is there a good like starting point? Like, because I'm thinking, I love that you included fiction, because I'm like, I feel like the lore of like Hades and Persephone have like stuck in so much more for me because I read Electric Idol.
Yeah.
If you want like a smutty Greek pantheon romance book to get to know those deities.
Isn't Electric Idol the other one? I think the one before it is Hades and Persephone.
I thought Electric Idol was the first one.
No, Electric Idol is the second one.
Hey, Neon Gods. That's the one.
Yeah.
Neon
Gods.
You're right.
Neon Gods.
You're right.
I just didn't want to send anybody down the wrong path.
No. You're right. The whole series is great.
Reading that book and then looking for Hades and Persephone the whole time. I think they're mentioned in like 2 sentences.
But is there a good, like, how do I get a buffet of all of the deities so I can tell which one I want to go down the rabbit hole on?
Okay. Again, my answer is not sexy. But I'm like, there are tons of books that give the buffet, right? And like, I think the buffet for me is like what I read in those fiction books, you know? Like, I get like a taste of a fictionalized version of somebody. I'm like, oh, I want to know more about the truth of that energy, of that. Like, I don't want to say character, but I want to say character because we're talking about fiction in this context. But I think like part of it too is falling down the rabbit hole of learning without the expectation of, I'm learning to receive this in exchange.
Yeah. Like almost see where your curiosity naturally takes you.
Yes. Rather than being like, okay, I'm going to read this book that has a blurb on all of the gods and goddesses, and then I'm going to decide whose rabbit hole I want to go down because I want to work with them. That's certainly a path. And not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because like, you know, everybody's brains work differently. Everybody's experience is different. But if I were to give advice on how to work with someone, and a lot of times people ask this question because they're like, oh, like either seeing signs or having this feeling. So first of all, trust that intuitive nudge, you know?
Yeah.
But don't let it stop there. Don't be like, okay, so I saw a crow. I know that's a sign of the Morrigan. That means that I'm going to work with the Morrigan now. And I'm going to, you know, now I'll just make a candle and ask her for something.
Yeah.
I say that because that is 100% what I did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And not to say that anything bad will happen to you if that's, you know, how you start out, because nothing bad happened to me. But my relationships with deities are much more like full-bodied when I am investing time into knowing and understanding them.
Kind of like a friendship.
Yes, it is exactly like a friendship. You know, you don't imagine if you have like an acquaintance, right? Someone that you know of, and they're constantly, and you like this person, right? Like you want to be friends with this person. Imagine they're the only person who texts you, calls you, asks you questions about yourself. It's like not a great relationship. It's like a pretty one-sided one. For me, learning and knowing and understanding deities is a very similar experience to that texting a friend and asking how they're doing. Yeah. It's what you can do to build that relationship rather than like waiting for energies to come to you. And, you know, like, I think this is maybe a hot take, but I think that deity work can be very fueled by ego. Because there is this nature of like, oh, this deity reached out to me. They want to work with me. They want to be a part of my magic. That must mean something good about me. And there's just there's no better than, worse than in something like that. Yeah. And so all this to say too, that if you don't feel called to work with any deities, then like, that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be a part of your practice. I had a really hard time with it for a long time, honestly, because I think that it can very easily turn into, especially if you've left a toxic religious space, it can be really easy when you're looking for, like, you have this void to fill. Oh, I'll just fill it with a new god and worship that god, and that's the right thing, when really there's no right or wrong thing, right? And so it's all about the relationships that you have. I just see all I think everything's real.
Mm-hmm.
All the gods, all the creatures, all the cryptids, all the things. And I just think that they're energies and they've been given different names. And all these stories are just like how we interact with those energies. And so I think my true first step is to take deity work off the pedestal. And then my second piece of advice is to read about and learn about and like immerse yourself in lore.
Yeah. And I like that too, because I think so often like the question that comes up is like, they want to respect the deity. They want to respect the history. They want to not, unknowingly appropriate someone else's culture. And like, if you're doing that deep research, those things are going to come to the surface, right? Like, it's impossible to research a deity from a closed practice deeply and not learn that it's from a closed practice, right? Like, so that can really alleviate a lot of that fear.
Yeah.
As well, that I know like a lot of our listeners have, because you care so deeply about like respecting others' cultures and things like that. I think research is always the first step to any like new esoteric practice, period.
Yeah. And so with that research comes an understanding of what traditional offerings look like for that deity. And I like to start there of like, okay, what did people in your original, so again, I'll keep using Hecate as an example. What did the ancient Greeks do to honor Hecate? What did that relationship look like back then? I start there and let it evolve into something that is mine.
Yeah.
So, for example, something really cool about Hecate is that traditionally offerings of food were left for her at the crossroads, but they were never left with the intention of like her actually like coming and getting the food, right? It was always with the intention that a hungry person would find the food and eat it, and that was the offering.
Aww.
Going like from the inception of that thing, and sometimes it was just giving food to a hungry person, right? Like that is an offering to Hecate. We did a food drive as SNAP benefits were taken away in November. We did a food drive through November, and that I was able to dedicate that to Hecate.
Oh, I love that. So then how do you just like say to like your altar, like this is for Hecate? How do you do that?
Sometimes I'll just think it.
Nice.
What happened really was like recognizing that we were planning on doing this thing and remembering what I'd read and thinking to myself, oh, great. This is a great way to honor Hecate too.
Mundane magic in the flesh right here.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so oftentimes like things can sound really daunting. Like the idea to me of finding a crossroads, a perfect crossroads, and preparing a plate of food and leaving it there and driving there and finding it and sitting there in the dark so nobody sees me,
Yeah.
Whereas, okay, like what's the spirit of that message? What's the spirit of that practice?
Yeah.
Someone who does not have food gets food.
Oh, I'm obsessed with this. Yeah, and that only comes from deeply understanding the history.
I never would have thought about that.
Yeah.
If I had just known, oh, Hecate is the goddess of witches, she's the goddess of the crossroads. I guess I'll have to find a crossroads and sit and meditate or whatever. Like it just...
Yeah. Wow.
The deeper understanding, kind of like the more high effort work on the front end can breed low effort work on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like how I really love to research the lore and the history of like how the magical intentions of like herbs and plants came through, because then that helps me remember, right, like what the magical properties of different ingredients are. So it's like if I know mint is an invasive species and can take over your garden really easily, oh, it makes perfect sense that it's used for abundance.
You want to know something that I learned about cinnamon?
Ooh, tell me.
So this is probably going to be butchered slightly.
Great.
But again, the spirit of the story I know is true, which is that Europeans would come and harvest cinnamon and take it back to Europe. But the people who what's the people who are colonizing the cinnamon, the people who are taking the cinnamon, they didn't want anybody else to know, because cinnamon's a bark, it's a tree bark, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want anybody else to know where they were getting this spice that they were getting all this money for, so they told everybody that it was the feather of a bird.
Okay.
They would go around and they would have to hunt for it. They would drop their feathers.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like digging in the dirt looking for these dropped feathers, and that was the cinnamon.
Wow.
So nobody would find the tree and take the bark, and so they could monopolize the market in Europe for cinnamon.
Fascinating.
Anyways, continue.
Anyways, yeah. Sometimes the mundane magic comes from high effort on the front for low effort on the back. But then you have that information for your life.
And
so you don't have to
so much easier to remember the properties when you know where they come from.
Yes. Hundo P.
I will always know that about cinnamon. And that's what ties it to abundance for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or luck, right? Like the colonizers just got lucky by discovering it first, and that's how they received the abundance.
Yes, exactly.
Or like apples are often associated with wealth and prosperity. And for a long time, I was like, how the hell is that a thing? Because like, you know, the Garden of Eden, Snow White, like all of these fairy tales and mythology deem apples to be bad. They're bad, you know? But it comes from the fact that if you cut an apple lengthwise, it creates a perfect pentacle with the seeds.
Yeah.
And so the pentacle then is connected in the tarot to like prosperity and money and abundance and things like that. So yeah, I think it's with all things, understanding the why makes it so much easier. And little brain fact, when you understand the why behind what you're doing, it becomes more potent in your brain. It like sticks in easier. So you might find it even easier to stick with your practice working with deities once you understand the why behind what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Next question, a very serious question. Would you like to read this one?
Oh, yes. I've been waiting. This very serious question comes from our Patreon. What pasta shape would you ride into battle?
Okay, so I would go with cavatappi because if I keep my supplies inside the cavatappi noodle, that would fortify and strengthen the noodle more. But then I also have these spirals. So I picture like I'm riding it and it's just like floating like a magic carpet, right? And so I picture my ability to like slide around the different like loops of it. So say there was an arrow coming at my head, I could just and be upside down and then slide back up, you know? Right.
I didn't think as hard about my answer.
It's very utilitarian in that way. Plus, like, delicious. First of all, great for any kind of sauced pasta. Anyways, that's my answer. You?
I was going to say bucatini because I like it. And you don't see it very often.
Yeah, bucatini also has that hole in it, right?
It's just spaghetti with a hole in the middle. I can't ever remember what it's called, so I just had to Google spaghetti with a hole in it.
But my question is like, so the problem with bucatini, and the reason why I didn't choose angel hair, which is my favorite pasta shape personally, is I feel like when any sort of spaghetti gets cooked, it becomes...
But that's any pasta, right? So in my mind...
Not cavatappi. Cavatappi holds its shape.
When you started giving real reasons, I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to justify this choice. So I had the thought that many members of my battalion could fit on the bucatini, you know?
Okay.
It could become like a caterpillar.
Or like a snake. You could really go through the grass.
Yeah. And then the hole does become utilitarian. I don't know what I would stick in it because it's quite small, but I could. Arrows, exactly. Swords.
Yeah. Ooh, a scroll?
A scroll if I needed.
Yeah. I feel like it would be good on like if there was a moat, because you could probably do some sort of like gliding across the moat.
Yeah, exactly.
In a bucatini. How long of a bucatini? Like a full length?
I guess I imagined if we had to ride it into battle that it was like the shape of the pasta relative to the other pastas then put into human size. Do you know what I mean? Like this, like the scale stays the same.
Oh, okay.
You know, so
yeah.
like if a cavatappi has to be big enough for you to sit on it,
Yeah.
there's like 4
Bucatini.
Like there's like 4 cavatappi's length in one bucatini. So I imagine that it would be 4 times longer.
Yeah.
And therefore the hole would be so much bigger, and therefore I could fit so much stuff in there.
But is the hole too big? Like, would things fall out the back of it? That's why I like the cavatappi, because it's got that corkscrew.
I could make it into a U shape. The person in the front, their job could be to hold the front, and the person in the back, their job to be to hold the back.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now we're thinking here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever eaten a bucatini.
I don't think I have either. I think that it's such a good idea for pasta. I just never see it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it in the wild.
I'm going to the grocery store this afternoon.
I'm really hungry for pasta
I'll keep you guys
now.
updated.
Yeah, please let us know. What are you gifting for Yule? That's our next question.
So I'm really excited, but I do have to then spoil what you're getting for Christmas because
I already know what I'm getting. You did spoil it for me already.
Did I? Oh, great. Okay.
Multiple times.
Excellent. Thank God. I love that about me. So I'm going, if you are my family or friends, you skip ahead, you motherfucker.
Skip. Yep.
I'm going handmade for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So, also if you work for Spellcrafter,
yeah,
skip ahead. I don't think any of you guys listen to this podcast, but just in case. So I got really into Louise Carmen journals on TikTok. They are leather journal covers that you can put little inserts in. They can hold like anywhere from like 3 to 6 notebooks in them, and I'm obsessed with them. They're also $200 American on a good day.
Oh my God.
Some people spend like $300 to $400, I think, on these things. And that's just not in the budget this year. And so I became obsessed with them. Mm-hmm. And so I went to my local leather store and I bought leather and I learned how to make them.
We love this.
Then to make it worth it, that I had become so invested and bought all the tools, I'm making everyone in my life their own leather journal cover. Not everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, if you don't get one for Yulemas, you might get one month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Yours probably going to be late, just going to be honest.
Fair enough.
I've learned how to cut leather. I've learned how to dye leather. I've learned how to emboss leather. I've learned how to cut holes in leather. I've learned how to put grommets in leather. I've learned a lot about leather making, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've made myself 3 to get it right, to understand the right thickness of the leather that you need, the right thickness of the elastics. So the ones that I have, I did buy one from somebody on Instagram because I did want one that was like maybe a little bit better and more functional for myself, but I also don't have the time or at this point any more materials to make myself another. So I said, you know what? Everyone's going to get the best of my labor and I'm going to have to invest elsewhere for myself.
I love that. But you're saving so much money on gifts, so it's girl math, it's free.
I'm definitely saving a lot of money. That's what I told myself. Because the leather itself is not what's expensive. But suddenly you need 18 different tools, and then you understand why Louise Carmen is charging $200. You know, the thing about me is that, first of all, I very rarely do I look, especially if it's something that a small business makes, I will almost never say like, oh my God, that's so expensive, that's overpriced, whatever. Louise Carmen is a big business, and so I feel comfortable saying, oh my God, that's wild, that's so expensive. But when I do experience that feeling, when I see something handmade, my next thought is always, oh, I can definitely save money and I can learn how to make it. I have audacity. I have one thing, it's audacity.
You and your mom are so alike.
And I learn the hard way every goddamn time why something is so expensive. I've cut my fingers. I've damaged things in my home. And you know what you have to do when you put a grommet into a hole? You have to use a hammer. I'm prone to headaches. I'm giving myself migraines left, right, and center.
Oh, God.
But they're going to be beautiful. I have a spreadsheet.
I'm so excited for mine. There's been 3 instances since you dropped this secret that I've been like, I could really use a paper journal for this moment right now.
I've got great news. You're not allowed to ask about it till February.
Okay. Fair. I was literally in a store yesterday and I was going down the stationery aisle and I was like, I need a new planner. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait till I get my leather bound journal.
Just you get yourself an A5 size and it'll stick right in yours. A5 size. That's all you got to know.
A5. Perfect.
You can stick anything in there.
I can't wait.
I
I'm
have
so excited.
5 in mine right now. I have a planner and I have 4 journals in mine right now. And they all have their own jobs. It's so fun.
She took me through her stationery obsession.
Molly sent me, I actually meant to send you a picture of it. Molly sent, so for her team retreat, she made these LL Bean totes for everyone on her team. And she got one for me, which is very sweet. She sent it to me. And now it holds all my extra journaling supplies. I have a house purse, which is just like a big bag with a bunch of compartments that holds all my like markers and my stuff. And I have so much now that it won't fit. So, and I also have one big journal that I've had forever that is older than my leather bound. So I didn't know that I needed the A5 size, but it's huge. I thought I needed a huge one for some reason. And so that lives in there. And my fountain pens live in there. And my cursive workbook lives in there. And my sticker books.
I love this. She's on a stationery kick, if y'all couldn't tell.
Big time. And it's really leashed out into Yulemas. So that's what I'm most excited to gift for Yule. I've been trying to find like vintage things and like Etsy stuff for some other people, or like in addition to, because I made one for like Drew I made myself my bad one.
Yeah.
And then immediately made one for Drew and was like, here you go. Christmas came early.
Yay. I am realizing now I haven't thought about Yule at all.
Oh, good.
It's December 1st.
Should we brainstorm really quick?
I fear that might give me anxiety.
Okay.
I'm just not there yet. My brain's not there yet. I don't know. I just got my fireplace, so it just now feels like the season. I will say I am on a mission this year. So my family is a big Amazon family. We always have been. My brother has worked for Amazon for years and years and years. He's a programmer. And so we've just always been an Amazon family. We send each other Amazon wish lists. We send each other Amazon gift cards, etc. And this year I've really been on a mission to take my money out of Amazon.
Yeah.
And so I'm very proud of the fact that I think I've only bought like 1 or 2 books on Amazon this year, which is incredible. And I am on a mission to not buy a single gift off Amazon this year. My wish list, not from Amazon, nothing from Amazon. And my family is doing the same because I learned that if everyone took $40 out of Amazon and put it towards small business, it would add like something like $10 billion into the small business economy. So I have been really on a mission of like supporting like local small businesses and local artists. So I'm really excited to hit up the craft fairs.
Ooh.
Those are like my favorite things. Craft fairs and like some of my favorite stores. So I think I'm doing like a slow buying season this year. I did go a little ham on Black Friday for some of my favorite stores, but that was mostly for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Last year I made everyone spell jar ornaments. And then I made wreaths for my mother-in-law and my mom. This year, I don't know what I want to do. I haven't decided yet. I know what I'm getting my team. They're all getting copies of Mundane Magic. If you haven't pre-ordered yours yet, now could be a good time. Put that on your wish list. You can find it on any bookstore, especially Spellcrafter.
Because we'll have signed copies. And you know what Spellcrafter just launched? A wish list. You can make a wish list on Spellcrafter and at the Healing Hedge Witch now.
Oh my God.
So send your family that wish list link.
Yes, we haven't announced it on here yet, but in addition to the virtual Q&A, Spellcrafter is the one and only place that you can get your pre-order copy of Mundane Magic signed by yours truly. So that was a big push on my end. I said either it's Spellcrafter or it's nowhere.
Yeah, bitch.
And so I'll be flying down to Florida and signing all your copies. So keep me busy.
We'll
put
wait.
the link in the show notes. Okay, last question. Which one do you want to do?
Let's do, I have a potential for an out-of-country move. Must downsize my crystals. What are the must keeps?
Ooh.
So I want to phrase this question. If you were moving across the country, not across the country, if you were leaving the country.
Yeah.
And you could only take, I'm going to say 5 stones in your collection, what would you take?
5 specific stones in my collection?
Yep, because you got to fit all that Black Friday purchases in your suitcase.
I am going with a selenite slab. I'm going with a Lemurian quartz point. I'm going with a quartz pyramid. I'm going with a smaller or larger, depending on the size of the first one I chose, quartz point. So I'll have 2 quartz points of different sizes, like, so one that's, maybe 2 inches and one that's maybe bulkier around. Mm-hmm. One that's like handheld and one that's the size of my pinky is what I'm thinking. Quartz pyramid. Okay, hold on. I have 2 of those, a quartz pyramid, selenite slab, and a jet bracelet. That's what I'm going with.
Good answer.
Was that 5?
Yeah, I think
What about you?
Okay. I would have to take my garden quartz statement piece that I have. It's not conducive to leaving the country, but I don't think I could leave it behind. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I would carry that in my arms like a baby. Mm-hmm. And then I would bring my Herkimer diamond bracelet. I would bring, I think I would also bring a small quartz point. Mm-hmm. I would bring a garnet sphere. And I have this piece on my desk of, honestly, it has like a trade name that I can't remember. I believe it's a form of lithium quartz.
Let me see. Yeah.
And I just love it. I love its little shape. I can't quite describe what I love so much about it, but it sits right next to my desk and it's like my most touched crystal. So I would bring that.
Yeah. I was thinking of utility, right? Like, so selenite, obviously, I can cleanse, the other crystals with it. I can cleanse my space. I just think it's good for literally everything. One of my favorite practices when I'm feeling low energy is to hold a selenite like plate or a selenite wand in one hand and quartz point in the other. But then I was thinking of, wow, there are so many crystals that I would want their energy with me, especially if I'm moving. And one of the practices that I have been really drawn to lately is, instead of working with specific crystals, like ruby or fluorite or citrine or whatever, is I've always been really drawn to quartz, clear quartz, especially points, like especially handheld, like ones that are really beefy in your hands. There's 5 of them on my desk right now that all have different uses that are basically the same crystal. Mm-hmm. But I have been working with the crystalline matrix in the earth to draw up the energies of other crystals that I want to work with. And so I've actually found that to be more powerful for me in my practice than to draw up the energy of fluorite and amplify it with quartz, rather than working directly with fluorite. So for me, I was like, okay, I want as much quartz as possible. And so that's how I came to 3 different quartz, a selenite, and my jet bracelet is just great for traveling. Mm-hmm. So I figured, if I'm going out of the country, there's going to be some planes and trains and automobiles.
Yeah, I like that. I really just chose things that I love and like to look at.
Yeah, I was like, well, maybe I should have done that, but I don't even know what I would choose, because I'm like, I can't leave my dinosaurs behind or my obsidian dragon.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay.
But it's not that you can't buy more crystals, That's what led me of okay, what are the very specific pieces that I have attachment to? Because I could always buy a selenite plate when I get there.
Okay, I was thinking I can't buy crystals when I'm there, and these are the only 5 that I can have in my keeping ever.
Oh, no, I was thinking if I could only keep 5 things from my current collection.
Okay, all right. Well, I'd like to amend my statement then.
Okay.
I would like to keep my obsidian dragon with labradorite eyes. Mm-hmm. Tarn is his name. I would like to keep one of my crystal points, my crystal quartz, my clear quartz points, my clear quartz.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Oh, she glitched out for a second.
This is so stressful to me. I'm like, well, I can't just bring one of the dinosaurs. I have 2. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this question anymore.
No, we broke her.
I would bring my coral because my friend got me this coral that it's split down the middle and she has the other half and she lives far away from me. So that would be the third one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you broke her. Congratulations.
I'm like so stressed about this. I just keep feeling bad for all the crystals I'm going to leave behind. What am I at right now?
I did 3. You have the dragon.
My Moldavite pendant.
Okay.
Well, jewelry doesn't count, right? I can keep as much jewelry as I want.
This isn't really happening.
Maybe oh God. Maybe my green apophyllite palm on the matrix.
Okay.
Crystal.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm really stressed by that. I don't like this question anymore.
Okay.
I don't want to think about it.
Okay. I think we did it. We got to go before Molly has an aneurysm.
I'm going to go regulate myself with all of my crystals. Find me in a bathtub filled with them.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison. All our links, from spells to ceremonies to ways to support us, are waiting in the show notes.
We'd love to hear your magic moment of the week. Share it in a review, tag us on socials, or bring it to our Patreon clubhouse at demystifymagic.com.
And remember, you are the magic.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.